Hello, welcome everybody to another wonderful show. And my name is Luna, and this is
I'm Kat.
Kat. Wonderful to be back again for another awesome week. This time around, we're going to do summer fun since technically it's almost, it's kind of the middle of summer, I would say. Too hot, don't care.
Yes,
so
yes.
we, so I always think of summer and camp, like, going to summer camp. So it's definitely very fun for us to, do this segment. Kat, I see we have a special guest. Would you like to do the honors of introducing her?
Yes, we have Colleen with us. Hi, Colleen.
Hi guys, how
Hi.
are you? Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
Yes.
And
So
she is the creator of Scream Queen Cosmetics.
yeah, and we thought it would be awesome to showcase her stuff on this particular one because we are reviewing the Sleepaway Camp, and you have the Sleepaway Camp scent, right?
Yes.
So that would be perfect to showcase everybody. Now, I will say, from the one I use, I have sensitive skin, so I was super impressed that it didn't make my skin all like crazy and blotchy. So, if you have a sensitive skin, you may want to try this one out. It may, help you also because it was like fantastic. I'm like, great, smells good, and my sensitive skin isn't getting all like crazy. So, good job on
That's
that.
awesome. Great to hear that. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah. So,
It smells
Colleen,
amazing.
yeah, it smells amazing.
Oh, good. Yes, the toasted marshmallow. It's kind of subtle, vanilla marshmallow, but I'm glad that you like it. Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit, how long have you been creating like cosmetics and what led you to do horror themed stuff?
Well, I started Scream Queen in October of last year. I found that with my work schedule, I just didn't have time to go to the Halloween stores and do all of that like I love to do. Um, so I just kind of wanted to incorporate something that I do for work because I'm an esthetician, and I usually gift my clients skincare products for the holidays and stuff. So I thought, why not combine two things that I love the most, which would be horror and skincare. So, and then during my research, I found out that I was not the only one, to have the idea to do spooky inspired skincare. So I kind of took my love for horror, 80s horror, really super stoked that the whole VHS revival thing is kind of back.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's really, really cool because I was raised, I raised myself on horror movies, especially low budget horror. So yeah, I kind of wanted to just set myself apart that way, kind of take titles from movies and then just get creative with the scents and just kind of bring it all together. So yeah. So
Sounds
it's coming up on my first year.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice. Well,
Yeah,
happy almost anniversary.
thank you.
Are you planning to go to any like conventions, to like showcase or anything like that? Any fun we can expect from you in conventions or anything like that?
Oh gosh, I really tried this year. I'm kind of near you guys. I'm close to Orlando, so I really wanted to do the Spooky Empire, but I didn't get a vendor spot in time. So I just do local vending events here in town, but my goal would be to definitely start, doing things on the horror circuit,
Yeah.
as a vendor.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna mention, since you didn't get into Spooky Empire, there's also a really good one in Tampa called Spookala. It's gonna be at the Florida Fairgrounds. That's another option also. Maybe
That's
we can
super
see you
awesome.
there.
Yeah, I love that. You guys are gonna be there. That's super cool. I'm I'm definitely going to try to make it out. I didn't make the cut on the vendor list, unfortunately, but hopefully next year. Yeah.
All right. No worries. Kat, do you have anything else for her?
Yes, I love the foaming sugar scrub. That's my favorite, and
That's my
it's a
favorite
great
too.
thing you can take with you when you go camping. You don't need to bring a loofah. You don't need anything else. It stays together. You can just grab a clump in your hand and just use it everywhere. And my skin was so smooth and soft. I was like, I gotta save some for to show people because it's so good. I love it.
That's awesome. That's all. What I like most about that one is it's kind of a lotion as well as a scrub. So you don't need you don't need to moisturize afterwards. It's kind of like a 3-in-1 product. It's a cleanser, an exfoliant, and a moisturizer all in one. That one's my favorite too.
Awesome.
Awesome. Can we expect anything cool from you? Any cool products that you're working on, like any lipsticks or anything like that? Or are you strictly doing esthetician like skin?
So I'm actually kind of right now experimenting with some lip glosses and some beard oils, some things for the guys. And
Yeah.
I I have a big scent profile, but for the holidays, I'm going to reintroduce some of them, more of like the holiday themed. I do one, it's called Freddy Sweater. And it's like like a sugar cookie. So,
Nice.
yeah. And then, Silent Night, Deadly Night, that's a good holiday movie. So I have a
Yeah.
candy cane version of that. And, yeah, so I'm just kind of re-releasing some of the scents that I don't focus on, the rest of the year.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, Krampus is one of my personal favorites. So maybe
Oh,
doing
I have
some
one.
like, yeah, you have a Krampus?
I have a Krampus one. It's hot
Cool.
cocoa scented. So I'll send you one.
Ooh. Ah, cool.
Ooh,
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
what got you into horror, Colleen, when you were
I
young?
just I grew up on it, I'm probably trying to remember, like, I think my grandma sent me a VHS tape when I was little. It was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I think that was my first
Grandma.
horror. I know, right? My grandma's pretty awesome. So, yeah. So, Nightmare on Elm Street, of course, that was my, Freddy was kind of like my hero, super scared of him, but loved him too.
Yeah.
And then the classics, Jason and Madman, of course, like you guys are going to be talking about. And I really love the slasher films of like the mid 80s. That's my favorite horror genre, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely love the campy 80s. So as soon as I watched Mad Men, I was just in love with it. And I'm like, why does this not get enough credit and love? But today we're going to give it a lot of love it deserves.
That's awesome. It's a great one.
So where can people find you if they're interested in trying out your products? Where can we find you?
So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, Scream Queen Cosmetics, and then on Instagram, it's Scream Queen Cosmetics Labs. And I'm working on building an Etsy store and getting my website launched. But right now, I'm just kind of doing it old school. Send me a message, send me an email, and I'll get you taken care of. I'm also, open to any custom orders too. So I like a good challenge. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Do you want to stick around for we're gonna discuss the two movies tonight. Did you want to stick around or did you want to
Yeah, I
whatever?
would
It's up
love
to
to.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would love to. Those are two great ones. So, yeah.
All right, awesome. Miss Kat, what do you want to start off with? Do you want to start off with Sleepaway Camp or do you want to start off with the other one, Madman?
Whichever you want. We were going to start Madman because we thought Colleen couldn't join us earlier, so we can start with Sleepaway Camp.
Okay.
I think which one was? They're both 81, aren't they?
No, Sleepaway Camp is, I believe, 83, And Madman is, I believe, 81 or
Yeah,
82.
81.
81, yeah.
All right, so let's start with Madman. It came out first. Let's start with that.
Sure. And I will show, I have the trailer for it. So if you want, just in case, because some of our viewers may not have seen this. So let's go ahead and show them this so they have a little bit of an idea. Let's go ahead and do this real quick.
Many strange things happen here.
We got the story.
He was a farmer, wife and 2 children, who used to live in that old house behind those trees. For no apparent reason, we'd stark raving. He walked into his bedroom. The bodies of his wife and children have never been found. And if he hears you call his name, he'll come for you. Come and get us, Madman!
Stupid kid. Love that. A lot of good kills in this. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Oh, sad
Wow.
the preview doesn't have the song. It doesn't have
No.
his song.
I know. What is such a shame, huh? Well, that was fun. Personally, I was a big fan of the soundtrack. It was just so iconic in the 80s, and I just couldn't help but laugh sometimes because they do like they'd stick a little and I'm like, the hell was that? It's just so random and good at the same time. Kat,
I
what?
feel like
No, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say I feel like that time period, the early '80s, everyone kind of wanted to imitate, Friday the 13th. So you have movies like Mad Men with all of the jump scares and kind of, I don't want to say boring, but just a lot of like suspense, and you don't see the madman that often in the film, not till the very end. But yeah, the soundtrack is very Friday the 13th ish.
Yeah, I liked
The
it.
intro reminded me of like a video game. With the little intro. I was like, oh, it's like an old school video game.
So, out of all of the kills, Kat, from Madman, which one would you say was your favorite?
My favorite. There were a lot of good ones.
Yeah, right. My personal favorite, spoiler, guys, sorry. But this movie did come out in the 80s. So if you haven't seen it, you're kind of, way, way, way behind. So it's the scene where the chick can't get her car started. She goes to the car. I forget her name. I'm totally bad with names. She goes to the car and then she lifts up the hood and she's like kind of like scared and like kind of looking around. She looks down to the hood and then the guy comes, Madman Mars comes and decapitates her with the trunk or the hood of her car. That is just the best. And I could totally see how she's like walking backwards and like, hoo, hoo, hoo. But when she looks down, she doesn't check. That's when, that's when bad things happen. So that was fun. That was probably my favorite kill just because it's just so outlandish and I don't know how realistic decapitating somebody with the hood of their car is, but 80s cinema for you.
I think I like the dude getting ripped out of the car. Like you're not expecting
Oh
him to
yeah.
just rip the guy right out of the car. And then he like has him over his head, like suddenly he's WrestleMania. And like I don't know what he did to him. He snapped his back, I guess, or something. Like we don't really see everything that's been done to him, but we're sure it's terrible.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I believe, I have a still of that because that was like probably my second favorite scene. And I don't know if you see it on screen. That part where he's like, ugh. I was like, yes. I
And I
love
love
that
the way
scene.
he walks like a Yeti. Like
Oh yeah, he has that like Bigfoot aspect to him, you know, because his hands are all kind of they're a little humanoid, but they're very disfigured, kind of like a Sasquatch kind of vibe. I don't know, but I just thought that scene in particular was rather fun. And that part, Kat, was so unexpected for me because he looks at the girl in the car, smiles, like, and then that's when he's ripped off. So that's why you don't expect it. You're like, oh fuck, that part got me because he was just smiling like it's gonna be okay, and then just gets ripped out of the car. So
And what about you, Colleen? Which part's your favorite?
I think for me, maybe now I don't know where it is in the movie. I think it's close to the end. It might actually even be like the end scene where he is chasing a girl through the house and he's just kind of popping around corners and just like really terrorizing her. I think that's my favorite part of the movie, actually. Kind of, I think it's at the end because you get to see most of the special effects, his makeup and everything in that scene, and he's pretty creepy looking. So, yeah, I think that might be my favorite scene.
yeah,
Nice.
that's a good one.
She hides on the fridge, right? She
Yeah,
hides in the fridge first.
Yeah.
And then she comes out and it's like, no, just stay in there. Just
Yeah, it's actually pretty scary if you can put yourself in that situation. It's pretty scary. Yeah.
And she was actually the character I liked the most. I don't know what it was about her. Her name was Ellie, played by Jan Claire. She was just, she seemed so innocent and sweet. She was like the nicest one. And it was just so sad. And then she gets the axe right in the chest.
Yeah.
And she's just like so surprised, like, no.
Yeah.
That's a great scene. Yeah.
The very annoying part is the guy that threw the stone and started this whole fucking mess. Isn't he the one that just like ends up walking scotch free?
Yeah.
I think so.
And I'm like,
I think it's Richie. Yeah.
That annoyed the hell out of me. I would have wanted him to die first since he initiated it. And then maybe some of the strong lead roles can maybe make it. But for him to like not die, I'm like, typical.
So 80s. Yeah, a typical.
But what I liked about this is there were a lot of like you'd see him in the background or the character would see him, a lot of close calls, so to say. That's what I really liked about this. It's like he flashes his flashlight, he sees him there with the noose, and like, oh, when he comes back, he's gone, oh no, or she sees him go between the trailers, and then she's just like, oh wait, oh nothing. Like he's gonna come out between the trailers and be like, hey, I'm here. Yeah, there's somebody here, Every time somebody saw something, they just kind of, oh no, it's nothing.
A similar scene that I was just like face palm all the way was when they got to the car before they found the head and the hood of the car. They're like, let's go examine the car. And they did not look at all the blood. They literally just went to this corner. The car looks fine. Went to the other corner. It looks fine. And then it took them to try to start the car and then figure there's a severed head in the engine. Like, that was just like, oh my God, do you not notice the trail of blood? That to me was just like, God, it's right in front of you. what's wrong with you? I would have noticed that, but that's just me.
I think I would have too. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you pay attention to like details. Like if something is like slightly moved in my house, I'll be like, the fuck, was it the dog who moved it? But so I can see that I'd be like, that's blood. That's not supposed to be there. So that was funny.
And then when they get away in the school bus or whatever bus with all the kids, and then she's like, I gotta see if somebody's alive. And then she just stay on the bus, like leave it when you get somewhere safe. Let them go see if somebody's alive. Like she could have got away, but no.
Yeah.
Just like no common sense. No common sense.
Suddenly she has to be the hero. Like what's going on?
Yeah, I got a vibe that she had like hero complex,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know what was up with that. But it was definitely not good for her to do that. But you know, and then let me share with you guys. Let's appreciate for a second the beauty that was the makeup. And I mean, figure this came out in 81. Maybe they started working it in maybe 79 or 80. But look at the effects and the makeup and just the hands too, because like they're all like weird and like stubby and I don't know. Yes, very beast-like, and his story was great too, because they gave him a very interesting story. You know, he was like a farmer or something, living out in the woods with his family, goes crazy, kills everybody, and then he just becomes a mass murderer kind of thing. And they gave him I feel like a good story, because sometimes some characters don't get enough, backstory. But I wonder what happened to, kind of, I wanted them to explore a little bit more of what happened to him, like why he went like batshit crazy. Was it, something like, was it supernatural? Was it kind of a psychological, like what transpired for him to do all that? So I wish they would have explored a little bit more on that. That would have been good too.
And how
That's a good
the guy
point.
who's telling the story, like, did he create him through his story, or how did he know this guy's whole story?
Yeah, how did he know? Or like there's a legend, like for example, we have the Mothman or something, and somebody's like an expert on where Mothman has been and all this stuff. So it's like more, I feel like he's more, Madman Mars is more like a cryptid. You know what I mean? Like a local folklore, like kind of thing to like scare the kids, but he ends up being actually real, like Sasquatch. But cryptids are fun, so I definitely enjoyed that aspect of it, like the whole like we're gonna talk about the chupacabra or something, and it ends up being real. So that was a lot of fun to see. So you also feel that way, Colleen? You also feel like they should have explored what caused them to go all crazy?
I do, yeah. I feel like a lot of times the plot leaves a lot to be desired with these types of movies, but it would be good to get a little more of a backstory from him, or even a sequel. Yeah, I think that this is a really underrated horror movie. It's one that I don't think a lot of people have heard of Mad Men.
No. I actually found it because I was like, I kind of fell in the Google search rabbit hole. This movie led me to this movie, which led me to this actor, which led me to this movie, and then I found this. So it was kind of like I started looking up like ideas for like campy horror, and this is one of the stuff I stumbled upon. And it was actually accidental that I stumbled on it. And I was kind of sad that I hadn't heard of it before. But Kat, you mentioned you heard about it through Joe?
Yeah, Joe Bob covered it a couple of years ago, like 2018 or 2019. they did their own version of the Madman song. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
But I love that now you can find all these movies. Any movie you want to look for, you can find it somehow, some way. That wasn't the case back in at least my day. I don't know Khalid's age, but back in my day, like you had to go to video store, and then still,
Absolutely.
if somebody had it, that was it. You had to come back the next day and hope they returned it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was part of the magic and the mystery of movies back then, and horror movies especially. You kind of had to hear from them through your older brother or your friends, and you would be at a party or something and you'd have this movie on, and it would be almost impossible to figure out what it was without that. So yeah, it's really nice that you can just find anything now. It's also accessible. And horror is, I really think that it's really coming back into popularity. Like, I think it goes in and out a lot. So yeah, I actually saw a clip of Madman when I was really little, and it literally took me until this year to figure out what it was that I saw. So I'm really happy that people know the movie and appreciate the movie. So yeah, super, super cool. It was like a age-old mystery that I figured out just this year, just a few months ago.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, similar with us. Well, personally, me, I can't speak for Kat, but just finding it and then watching it and discovering it was like, whoa, this is like a lost kind of gem, and it's like finding a vintage toy or something, and then being like, whoa, this existed. This is awesome.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
And that's what I
So
love about horror. There's so many movies. Still, people will mention a movie that I've never heard of, and it's like a hidden gem. And I'm like, this is awesome. Why hadn't I heard about this? So that's part of the fun, the thrill, of discovering something that wasn't, so appreciated in its time. Like a lot of artists, back in the day, Picasso and all that, people were like, oh, nobody cared. And then like they have to die for their stuff to be appreciated. At least now people can find things and show them appreciation, hopefully within their lifetime. And I love that.
yeah, it's super awesome. So the other one we were gonna discuss, Sleepaway Camp. Ooh. So I hadn't watched it in a long time. I rewatched it for this, and it was like, damn, I missed a lot. Like, it's different when you watch something when you're 10 years old, or whatever, 10, 12, 13, even 13, you still don't get some of these references because you're so young and inexperienced. And now that I'm in my 30s, I watch this and I'm like, oh god. Ooh, all the emotions.
Yeah.
All of the emotions all at once. So it was definitely interesting. Well, I do have the trailer for this one also.
Dear Mom and Dad, I've been at a sleepaway camp for almost 3 weeks. And I'm getting very scared.
Welcome to Sleepaway Camp. Someone is watching you.
Hey, Mama, read love.
Someone is waiting for you.
Yes.
Someone won't scare you to death.
Turn the wheel!
Sleepaway Camp. You won't be coming home.
Ooh. Yeah. Let's just
I'm wearing my
say
camper wax shirt.
you're what? Oh, you are?
I'm wearing it for the occasion. So Camp Airwax.
Oh,
Nice. Awesome.
nice. I'm not as cool. I'm just wearing my Halloween shirt.
Very cool.
But man, can I say something? Just watching that scene with the cook and seeing seeing him get burned, I'm like, yeah, you probably deserve that for being a Dibbler. I just, just gonna.
And his whole monologue when the kids are coming in. Like, wow.
Like that is a real creep right there. Yeah.
He's not shy about it at all. He's just like,
Yeah,
"For
no,
all
it's
the
just
boys."
openly a creep. Yeah.
Yeah, even the guy, even the assistant chef or whatever, that was like, kind of gave him a second chance to correct himself. Is like, oh no, actually this, and then he's like, no, actually that, and I'm like, he tried to give him
Yeah.
yeah, he tried to give him a benefit of the doubt, and just be like, oh, they're a little too young, and then or something like that. He's like, they're never too young. I was like, oh. Well, that was very disturbing. I think none of the killing bothered me. It was like his character that just petrified me, because people like that exist, and it's kind of scary, So especially
Definitely.
The psychological horror as well.
yeah. So the twist at the end is great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. For all of you that haven't seen it, you're in for a treat for sure.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was really young. I was like a teenager. I had to be maybe 12 or something like that. And me and my brother were just like,
Yeah.
like, what?
What did I just see?
What happened?
So I watched this without before, right? I didn't have the experience that I do now. And I knew Angela in my personal life. I dated an Angela. I dated somebody that was raised as the opposite gender, because the dad was like, oh, I want a boy, and didn't get a boy, so raised as a boy. So I knew an Angela, and they were like similar to Angela, very messed up. I won't mention any names or anything like that, but yeah. So it was, now seeing it after I experienced that, I was like, oh, I know somebody just like that. And
Wow.
yeah, so I knew my own Angela, and it was a rather scary situation. So it happens. Parents are like, or caretakers are like, well, you weren't a boy or you weren't a girl, so we'll just raise them as if they were, because that's what I want. And it's like, then the kid grows up being all messed up. So it was definitely interesting to see that on the screen, because that does happen. Yeah. Kat,
Well,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Kat, what did you find the most interesting about Sleepaway Camp?
I think it was the weird, like, sex and relationships. I think that's really what the movie centers around at its core. Because we have Aunt Martha at the beginning. She is kookaloos, right? The way she talks and everything.
Oh yeah.
And apparently she has aphantasia. It's a disorder with the ability to form audible images in an inner voice. So everything that she thinks, she has no inner voice. It comes out. That's why she's repeating things multiple times. And that's why it's a real disorder that causes people to act like that. And that's just very bizarre. Just her, I just love her performance as Aunt Martha. It's just creepy and as all out. And then we have one of the girls, Meg, I think it was Meg, that's giving her a hard time. And then Meg takes the old guy. What is this? The old, like her boss, basically. Her boss. She's like excited about having a date with him. And it's like, what is up with these? What is wrong with these kids?
And notice how she hides it from her friends. She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're going out on a date with who?" She's like, "A boy," but she doesn't say an old man.
Mhm.
Man in his 70s, yeah.
Yeah, she hides. She knows. She probably knows like she's not supposed to do it. That's why she just says, "Oh, a boy," but doesn't say, "Oh yeah, this dude," because then they'd be like questioning her, like, "Why are you going out with him?" You know, it would definitely raise some eyebrows. But this movie for me personally had a lot of it touched on a lot of issues. Like you had like the pervert, and then you had the people with the mental disorders, and then you had people with like bullying complexes, and then you had like so many different topics in one movie that it was very interesting to see all together intertwined. So that was interesting to see. Colleen, what was your favorite? Like about the just overall?
Well, I really think that they blew their budget on the special effects because the special effects were really, really good. I think in this movie, the creepy guy in the beginning, the kid in the bathroom with the beehive, pretty much every kill scene, they nail the special effects. As far as the casting goes, it's a little confusing. You have people that you wouldn't expect to see at summer camp. The creepy old guy, the weird counselors that you don't really know if they're campers or counselors. It's very mismatched cast, I would say. So, and then everything that you guys said about the social aspects of the movie, and even like the chauvinism of that time, that really kind of shines through in that movie too. But I think for me, just the special effects are really impressive, especially for the time that was 1983. Definitely impressed by that. So the storyline, not so much. The casting, not so much. But and then of course you have the girl who plays Angela. She's really very popular now. She's on the horror circuit a lot. Felicity Rose. She's still totally relevant to the whole genre. So, yeah. Special effect. That being said, special effects all the way. The kill scenes were really, really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I completely agree. The burns look so realistic. And
Yeah,
then
the
when
guy
he's up there,
yeah,
you're on a chair. He's acting like he's like way up in the sky on a ladder, like he can't get down.
like, step down. Like what? Like yeah, it's totally ridiculous. But yeah, yeah. The curling iron scene. That's another scene where if something like that, they allude to that a little bit. They don't show anything, but you kind of know what's happening. But the way she just kind of sticks her hands up in the air like, oh no, it's like
Yeah.
that's no.
Definitely some deformity of genitalia going on. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
She would probably not just immediately die like that with her arms up in the air. She'd probably be able to fight back a little bit. So yeah,
You would
funny.
think.
Yeah.
Those would be some severe burns though, but
Yeah.
as you know, you don't die from severe burns right away. It kind of it's
Yeah.
rather more long and painful.
She gave up pretty quick. Yeah. I think I would be fighting back a little harder. So yeah, definitely.
Exactly. The special effects and the practical effects were pretty good. The scene where the dude's in the canoe and then he's like kind of breathing under there and then he gets killed under it. That was fun for me personally because it's like, you know, it had a lot of like the lighting, the ambience, just everything was like very good about that scene, and I was a big fan of it because it's just like, ooh, somebody's gonna get you under the canoe. And like, I don't know why he was hanging out in a capsized canoe, but whatever.
Yeah. Maybe I think
Well,
he was trying to scare the
leaving
girl.
dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like capsized canoe, really? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he gets a girl to go out on a canoe with him, and then he flips the canoe. Like, way to go, dude! Like, you're not scoring tonight. What is your plan? What is your goal?
His plan is to just hang out under the canoe, I guess. I mean, that's what I didn't understand, but whatever.
That one's totally pointless. Yeah.
So terrible, but and
how many kids did she hack up at the where they just show the bags, the camping, and they, you know, there was an axe there, and then they show like, because a couple of kids wanted to go back to the camp, so he takes them back to the camp and leaves all the other children there asleep and defenseless. And then when the cop comes in, they're all chopped up. I don't know which. I'd like to know which kids those were. You know, they didn't specify.
No, they weren't. They probably weren't. They're probably just extras, you know, kids in the camp, but not really ones that you interacted with. It was just like camp goers, but nameless.
Because everyone else that dies did said something negative to her or did something wrong to her in some way. So I'm thinking maybe it was the kids that were there that were throwing dirt when they tried to drown her.
Oh,
they
yeah.
tried to throw her in the water, and then they were bringing her back up, and the kids are throwing dirt. I think that might have been the kids there because everyone else did something to her.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense that she would just like, I don't care who you are, I'm just gonna get you. Everything else was very,
maybe
very
she snapped. Maybe she snapped. I don't know. That's a good theory though. That it was the kids with the dirt. They never truly specify. They just kind of leave it like that. But either A, she went ballistic at the end and just kind of went on a frenzy and just didn't give a fuck, or B, it was the kids with the sand, with the pocket sand.
But I think you're right, Colleen. They ran out of their budget for the special effects. Because at the end, like, they're leaving a lot of things to the imagination, and they did a good job at that. But yeah, the end scene, obviously, you can tell the head doesn't match the shoulders, and it's all jacked up.
Even the scene. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Which scene?
Even the scene that you were just talking about, where the guy finds all of the chopped up kids, like you can't. I had to run that back. I watched it again this morning just to kind of just kind of prepare for this. And you don't really see too well. Like the lighting is off because I tried to figure out who that was, but yeah, they probably just ran out of money, ran out of time, and just figured it out as they went along.
Sleeping bags and
yeah.
Yeah, I actually put that on replay because I was like, maybe I could see a little, like, you know how some of the kids were wearing rings or something like that, you can tell it's them, and you can't really see anything. It's just like the sleeping bags, and they're all the same color sleeping bags. It's not like one of the girls had a pink one and you can differentiate, oh, that's the girl with the pink sleeping bag. No, they're all the same uniform color, and no real rhyme or reason as to whose is who. So kind of up to you, I guess, to figure out who it was that was killed. So random kills, gotta love them.
Gotta love it.
But they definitely were able to be creative with what they had, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, gotta give it to them for that.
Question to the both of you. What was the most shocking scene from Sleepaway Camp that you were like, whoa, this is like crazy?
The first time we watched it or seeing it again? Because
Either or. Either
Huh?
or. Either
Oh,
or.
my first time watching it, it was the end scene, but rewatching it again, it's the curling iron.
Yeah.
I think for me, definitely the first time I watched it, the end scene where you're like, what the heck am I looking at? Like, why is she making that facial expression? Like, the whole thing. And then rewatching it, I don't know. I really like I kind of like the bee scene. The guy that gets it in the bathroom. Or no, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. The shower scene where Angela stabs her, like somehow she stabs her through a whole wall. That's probably I don't know about shocking, but that might be my favorite scene just because of just how ridiculous it is. And just the gore factor. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And she's committed too. She sticks it. She's
Yeah.
like all the way down. She's
But,
making
like,
sure
wow,
she
she
gets
said
it
some
good.
brute strokes, but yeah.
Nice. For me, it's the boiling the dude scene when I watched that. Both times actually that I've seen this, I'm like, ooh. And then the first time around, I think I was too young for the curling iron scene. I was just like, the fuck? Is she gonna curl her hair or something? I was like, I was too young. That's why I said I was just too young to comprehend. And now, being the age that I am now, it's like, oh, that's what's happening. Okay, that's
Yeah.
gonna suck. So, yeah, perspective.
Yeah.
So, out of
And
all
also
of
now the ability to rewind, right, and to get to that precise spot that we want and see things more clearer. Sometimes still there's no explanation. You know, like you found out today, Luna. You're like, I'm gonna find out who's in those sleeping bags. Like, no.
you can't. It's just
Did the same thing. Yeah.
I don't know. You gotta get your detective on and be like, well, this person's there at the end, this person's not, and just kind of do a checklist. Like you gotta have a criminal pathology or something to figure out who the hell's dead and who the hell's not. So I was gonna ask both of you, out of these two movies, if you'd have to rate them like a 1 to 10, what would you rate both of them? Like, 10 being the best movie you've ever seen, 1 being the worst movie you've ever seen.
I think Sleepaway Camp I'd give like a 7. It's really it's funny. It's got a lot of interesting things about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Madman I'd probably give like a 6. It's a lot of fun. I mean, mostly I'd give it for the fun of it, and the kills are pretty good. There's some pretty decent kills in that one, and the acting was pretty good as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be mine.
Nice. What about you, Colleen?
I think Madman I would give probably a 5 or a 6, same as Kat, for those exact same reasons. Just really classic 80s, suspenseful, character, good, pretty solid plot line. Everything about that movie is pretty solid. So I would say definitely a 6. Sleepaway Camp I might rate a little bit higher just because it sort of opened the doors for the terrible sequels, which are actually my favorite part of the whole franchise, especially part 3. So I would say I'm gonna go with Kat. The same thing. I would say 6 and 7. 7 for Sleepaway Camp. just because it opened the doors for more Angela. Angela's back. Yeah.
Nice.
So
For me, I
the
was gonna say,
sequels, they're very different, right? The
Yeah.
sequels, if I remember seeing them, it's been a while. I need to rewatch them.
They're slightly different. You know, they're at a new camp and Angela is now grown up and she's a counselor and she's up to the same stuff, you know. She's killing the counselors, killing the kids, you know, really elaborate kills, really funny, really
Nice.
terrible. Good soundtracks too.
Nice,
Nice.
nice. I'll have to rewatch those again.
nice. Yeah,
They're
those
good.
are always fun. Yeah. I was gonna say, for me personally, I put Mad Men top. Like, I give it an 8, just because it has all of the elements that I like in horror movies. It's got the cheese factor, it's got the camp factor, it's got all the kills are great. It's got the killer, the crazy, machete wielding killer. It's got everything that I love in a good horror movie. So that's why I think I rate it so high. Not because it's like the most visually, like the most beautiful, stunning horror movie I've ever seen in my life. It's just because it's fun. It's everything that I love about horror. So that's why I give it an 8. For Sleepaway Camp, I give it about a 6.5, 7. It's good. It's good still, but it has a lot of plots and a lot of stuff going on, and that is always very entertaining. And you can watch it a bunch of times and get different things out of it. So that's always very good too.
Also, the guy's the outfit, the what's his name, Ronnie, with the muscly guy who's wearing like a leotard through the whole movie. That's really just weird and hilarious and confusing. Like, why would you be dressed that way? Yeah. So.
Nice.
But it was the 80s though.
Yeah. The shorts decade.
Oh yeah, the guys wearing the short shorts and the muscle shirts or whatever. That's funny.
And then they all go skitty dipping alone. Oh.
Don't teachers like keep an eye on them, or the counselors or whatever? Like, wouldn't you expect there to be like a security outside, like, hey, what are you guys doing? But I guess not.
Yeah, it's like a free-for-all going on in that camp. It's wild.
Yeah, sounds like a lit summer. I mean,
yeah, you don't know who's a camper, who's the counselor. Everyone's just partying together.
Now, what it
There's
co-mingling?
probably a couple of Jasons in that water, just
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected there to be a Jason popping out of the canoe or something. Not Angela. I for sure was like, that's got to be Jason. So that's fun. Well. So, Kat, do you have any other questions for either Colleen or for me or for anybody else regarding any of the movies or anything else?
No, I do not.
Do you have any question for us, Colleen?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me on. It was super fun. I love horror movies, so to get the chance to talk to you guys about it for an hour is pretty badass. So thank you. And thank you, for showcasing my product line, and I'm super glad that you love it. And yeah.
So
you can see how thick it's like. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And you can tell, that it's homemade. You can tell, it's not all pureed. It's nicely together, but it's still smooth and it's very nice.
That's awesome. And it keeps you hydrated. Yeah.
You do all the batches yourself?
I do. So I work a lot, so I try to just once a week take a little time and get my custom orders. Everything is small batch, handmade, just custom. Everything except for the fragrance that goes in it is all me. So Yeah.
So, a quick question for you, Colleen. This is just more personal, but I'm curious. If I love like that witchy, woody scent, like smells like you're just bathed in incense or something, are you able to custom make something like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you give me an idea of what you like and, a fragrance profile like that, woodsy, witchy, I'm already thinking, tuberose, patchouli, something
Patchouli.
smoky.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can, if you name it, I can find it. I can make it for you.
cool. I'm like patchouli and eucalyptus.
That's
Oh.
an interesting profile. Yeah. I like that.
I'm
So
all
you have,
into like the wood scents. I love that.
me too. Yeah. I really, yeah, I can definitely do that. So, and
Nice.
I can also, in addition to the body butter, the sugar scrub, the foaming sugar scrub, I also can do body wash, bubble bath. Yeah,
Do you do bath bombs?
that's something that I'm actually working on now. Bath
Oh,
bombs and coming up with some cute, fun things. That that haven't been done already, so that's been a challenge, trying to stay in my lane. I think I have a really good original idea, and then in my research I'll find that that's already been done. So
mm,
yeah, but definitely that is on my to-do list for sure.
That doesn't mean you can't do it better now, right?
That's true. Thank you for that. Yeah, just put
that's
a
true.
little different spin. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you think about it, there's a lot of horror podcasts out there, and me and Kat are still doing it. Doesn't mean that we're gonna do anything else everyone's doing. It's just we all have the right to express ourselves, and think you should do it too.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep coming up with stuff, and just trying to put my own spin on it, so it's as original as it can be. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it would be good if to keep in touch in case we do another one like this. I don't know if it may be if you want to do like a Halloween one or like a Christmas one with Krampus and all that. I think that would be really fun.
I would love that. Absolutely. It's so good to connect with you guys. So yeah, please consider me for that. I'd be totally down for that.
Yeah, and maybe you can show us all your Christmas stuff before all the other Christmas people come out and buy up all your good stuff.
Right.
And showcase it here first.
That would be awesome. I would love that. I have a handful of things that are in the works, ready to go.
Nice. Got some peppermint stuff going.
Peppermint, hot chocolate, candy cane, sugar cookie. Yeah, those are just a handful of things. So, and
What
they,
about
so,
pumpkin? I
oh,
Pumpkin.
love
pumpkin.
pumpkin.
Yeah,
I
I
love
have,
pumpkin.
me too. I'll send you some pumpkin stuff.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I get my labels made I'll send a Krampus and a pumpkin, something for you
Oh,
guys.
thank you.
Aw, you're so sweet.
Thank you.
Well, Miss Cat, any final words before we wrap up? We're already at our 1 hour mark. Woo!
I got an impatient doggy over here. I don't know if you can see her. She's all black.
Oh,
Aw,
she's the black wiener.
Here she is.
so cute.
Say hi, Heidi.
She's impatient. She wants
She's
mommy
like,
to get
love
off.
me, love me.
She needs mom.
She needs mommy time. It's like, mommy, hurry up.
So
It's
Nice.
been a pleasure talking with you, Colleen.
yes, thank you. Same. This was like so super fun and right up my alley. Everything I love. Horror, skincare, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to
Thank you.
personally thank all of our viewers. Oop, tongue twister. All of our viewers for sticking around. You've stuck around for an hour hearing us talk about all this summer camp and horror and how exciting. Let's all go camping now. I hope
But
you
not
guys
alone. Don't go
No.
anywhere alone. That's the key.
and don't challenge Madman Mars either, because it won't end well. So we learned some good stuff tonight. I appreciate you, Scream Queen Cosmetics, for providing us some goodies and letting us, explore your products and showcasing them and letting the world see them through digital format. So hopefully a lot of orders come your way, and
I hope so.
Sleepaway Camp forever.
And I love the old school horror sticker from the VHSs.
Yes, thank you.
I have a
Mine-
bag with that on it.
Oh, me too. Me too. That's so awesome.
Well, thank you, lovely ladies, for a wonderful, wonderful show tonight. Have a very good night. Thank you, viewers, again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, family, get the word out. And hope you guys have a good rest of your summer. We'll see you guys next week, where we have another exciting show. I believe we have a live guest next week, do we, Kat?
Is that one of our
Yes.
directors?
Yes, Larry. Larry is going to join us next week, and we're going to discuss some of his work. So that'll be fun. So you guys should come next week, and we're going to talk a lot of fun with him. So thank you, Colleen. Thank you,
Thank you
Kat.
guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good,
You're
lovely
welcome.
night. All right.
You
Thanks.
too.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.